What's up, guys? This is Andy Frisella, and this is the show for the realists. Say goodbye to the lies, the fakeness, and delusions of modern society, and welcome to motherfucking reality. Today is a full-length episode, guys. I'm happy to say that my man, Vaughn, the pastor of disaster, is here. We also have my brother Sal in the third seat, and we're ready to rock and roll. Hope you guys had an awesome Christmas. Hope you guys are getting geared up for this new year, new decade, ready to kill it, because we all know that 2018 was a warm-up, and 2019, that was practice, and 2020, you're going to get real fucking serious, aren't you? Isn't that pretty much the whole entire internet right now?
That's the whole entire internet. I think I've seen some pretty cool stuff all over the internet for Christmas. I've also seen some pretty ridiculously stupid stuff. But the pictures that you guys have been posting on your social media have been pretty cool, like the train set that Enzo got, and the
got a badass train set.
Yeah. How, I mean, if you don't mind me asking, how much does it cost to purchase something like that?
I don't know. You got to look across that table. I didn't buy it.
Oh, that's right. That was
a gift.
That was a gift from Uncle Andy.
I'll be honest. I don't really remember how much it cost because when I ordered it, I was completely fucked up.
One of those purchases.
It's one of those.
So,
yeah,
what percentage
sure.
of Christmas gifts did you buy this year that you were actually intoxicated when you bought them?
Well, I only bought 3 Christmas gifts, so 33.33333%.
What were the other two? Are you at liberty to say? Or are they like?
I mean, yeah, I could say I was a good Santa this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It all fit in a sleigh.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah, dude. I bought a couple cars for people for Christmas.
Nice.
I bought
like real cars.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And train cars.
Yeah, and some train cars. Yeah. I bought cool shit for Christmas, man. You get on my list, you get cool shit. Not many people get on it, but that's the truth. Like, you get on my fucking list, you're going to get some cool shit.
Yeah.
We got my dad a car, Sal and I did, and then I got Emily a car.
That's cool. I saw what you guys posted about Emily, or excuse me, your dad. I don't think I saw. Did Emily post about the car?
No, it was just something we were kind of keeping between us. It
was a Mini Cooper.
No, it's a nice car. But like, dude, the thing is like, I hesitate to show some of the aspects of my real life because people just take it the wrong way because it's really absurdly awesome. Mm-hmm. That's the truth. So like it comes across as like I'm trying to fucking brag and like, dude, I don't have a problem bragging, but like, cause I'll brag a lot, but it's just, I don't know.
Some things are bragging and some things aren't.
Yeah,
you know
right.
what I mean?
Exactly. Like, it's just not something I do for that reason. So I don't know, man. Like, that's such a weird topic, isn't it? Like, do you like share that shit or do you not share that shit? Like, I know like some people in Christmas time get upset because parents show their kids toys they bought them and they're trying to like celebrate how cool they are. I never see it like that. Like, I see it as like, dude, whether you got your kid a fucking orange, which sometimes, dude, that's all you get.
Right.
Or nothing. Or whether you got your kid a whole bunch of presents and, dude, that's everybody's personal choice and style. So, like, I never saw it. And, like, as a parent, I would think, Sal, that you're pretty fucking proud to be able to, like, provide your kids a nice Christmas.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of like a catch-22 because, when we grew up, we didn't want for much, in a sense, but like Christmas was not, it's not commercialized as much as it is today.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like today, it's kind of like you almost got to keep up with the Joneses, right, to have the Christmas. And, so like there's an inherent guilt that I have, like my kids get too much from, and I already instilled this rule with our grandparents, like the grandparents, like you bring one gift for each kid.
Right.
Not 5.
Right.
Because it got to be a point where I'm like, hey, man, like, this is not what it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
you know
right,
what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, like understanding the difference in that, versus me being proud to be able to provide for my kids.
Yeah, man.
It's a different,
dude, I get it because like, I don't have any kids to buy shit for, so I buy shit for your kids.
Right.
But like, like the truth is when I go to buy shit for Enzo, I'm buying the shit that like I wanted.
Yeah,
that I never had.
Yeah, we never, like, and I tell people this all the time.
Like we never had like
Power Wheels.
I got Enzo a couple Power Wheels like the day he was born. The day he was born, I got fucked up and I went on Amazon and I ordered him a Porsche 911 GT3 Power Wheel and also the John Deere tractor Power Wheel. And like, dude, he was an infant. Like the day he was born, I did the shit.
I mean, he's
You
3
getting
years
ready
away
for
from
it.
driving this
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
But when we were kids, and this isn't like, oh, we grew up on the wrong side of the tracks type thing. My dad was one of 12. So he was telling us a story the other day. He didn't get a new set of clothes till he was 15.
Yeah.
So like when we had Christmas, like it was like I remember he asked me one time, and I think for some reason I think we talked about this. He was like, "Hey, what Christmas gift do you remember?" And I remember him giving me a leather Boatman's bag. Boatman's was a local bank. And what happens, he re-gifted a vendor, gave him that bag as like a Christmas present, and my dad put wrapping paper around it and gave it to us, or to me. And I used the blue. It was like a dark navy blue
I remember
leather bag.
you carrying that fucker around.
Yeah, and
No,
so
he gave me a Michelob one.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So like, dude, my bag, we both got bags, and dude, these are actually really cool bags nowadays. Like they've come back in style.
Yeah.
They're like the leather
drum bag.
Like what do they call them?
Like a drum bag.
Yeah, like the round like gym bags. You know, I don't know what the actual name is, but like they're back in style now. And dude, these are like. You don't find bags like this, but as a kid, dude, I didn't fucking know that.
No.
But I thought, I thought I had the coolest thing ever. It was just a fucking bag that he got at like a golf tournament or some
So
shit.
you didn't know it was a regift?
No.
I mean, I figured it out after this time in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but at
right.
the time,
We just saw this cool bag.
Yeah.
Like, dude, we got a bag like dad.
Do you have any gifts that you got at the time that, looking back, you're actually embarrassed that you got? Like something you asked for, and then like years later, you're like, "Why did I ask for that? That was the dumbest, stupid,
Dude, you know
dumbest
what?
gift ever."
I don't remember that, but one time when I was a kid, I remember I don't know, I was probably like 6, and I still remember this because it bothers me, man. But my grandma who raised my mom, we called her Ninny. She gave me this teddy bear, like I don't remember which one it was, but like that had the heart on the inside that like actually beat or whatever.
Like a Care Bear?
No, it wasn't a Care Bear. It was like a little tougher than a Care Bear.
Yeah.
It was like a regular looking teddy bear, but it had like a part that like moved and shit. And, I was like in that age where I thought it was like cool to not be girly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I remember they gave it to me and I fucking like got mad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I've like threw it. I'm like, I don't want that. That's for girls or whatever. And like, dude, I still remember that, man.
Do you know where it's at?
No, but I still remember doing that
Yeah.
from like 6 years. It makes me feel like shit every
Yeah.
time I think about it.
No,
I
get
remember. I remember getting a glowworm. Do you remember glowworms?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Kind of odd thing.
I actually asked, this won't surprise you guys, and this is going to invite just like, tons of mockery, but I actually asked for an album. I asked for the album Tiffany.
That doesn't surprise
Do
you.
you remember
did?
Tiffany?
This year you did?
Yeah, no, it was 2 years ago. No, but do you remember her?
Of
She
course.
used to do
Listen, I went to the Real Housewives showing, or where they film Andy Cohen, and Tiffany was the guest.
no way.
Yeah. Way.
That's crazy.
Way, bro.
I don't know who the hell you're talking about.
So Tiffany was this like pop, like before Britney Spears, before
She's like Britney
I don't
Spears
know,
of the 80s.
Miley Cyrus.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she did these
How come
mall
I don't
tours.
remember this?
Probably because you were listening to like
He's in denial right now.
I'm guessing
He
you were
knows
listening
No, it
exactly.
must
to
have been so bad
Kool
I
Moe
like
Dee.
blacked out.
He sings that shit in the shower. I promise you that.
No.
Don't let him
but-
fool you.
No, speaking of pride though, I
I fight people in the shower imaginarily.
I actually, so funny story. So when I was in baseball,
Is that a word, imaginarily?
I guess
We'll
I
say
don't
it
know.
is.
Whatever. We're in our own land here. It can be whatever we want.
Yeah.
It's podcast land.
Put that shit in Webster's.
So we were in the shower, and I was in rookie ball, so I was in Johnson City, Tennessee. And what's funny is so you don't realize this until you get in organized balls, but the Dominicans and Puerto Ricans and Venezuelans, like all the Latino cultures, they don't really. It's not that they all don't get along in that sense, but there's a lot of animosity between the groups. And I didn't know this. You just
like
been
animosity
drafted.
or rivalry. Like I think that's
No,
different.
I think animosity. Like I don't know.
It's just different cultures.
Yeah.
And so they all wanted to be the best Latin culture, right? And they would argue about you didn't know. I didn't speak Spanish, but you would get the gist, right? And they would tell you on the backside. So we had two guys, a Dominican and a Venezuelan. They hated each other, and this is like week 1 in pro ball. And we get in, and we're in the shower, and there's 25 guys in there, and the showers are terrible. Like the water doesn't even it doesn't even drain. It backs up, so you're like bathing up in the ankle water.
You're
of
standing in other people's
dirt.
piss.
Shit, it's disgusting.
Because you got dirty motherfuckers who are sneaking peas in that shower.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And the thing is like you got your shower shoes on, and it's totally irrelevant because the water's up
It's
to your
above
ankles.
Yeah,
You know what
so
I mean?
you just got soggy shower shoes now.
So these guys start bickering in the shower, and all of a sudden, man, I remember Sandy Diaz took his slide off because that was the thing. Now slides are cool. Back then they were shower shoes. Took his Adidas slide off, man. He went across and he smacked that motherfucker right in the face with his dirty ass shower shoe. And then
the fucking disrespect,
dude. And the guy, I'll never forget. He had soap all over him and it was in his hair, and they were motherfucking each other. And he smacked him across the fucking face with his shower shoe, and dude, the shit just went fucking haywire.
So these dudes are butt naked,
rolling in his shower, just beating on each other, dude. And they had their little cliques, you know. So and you know, it was like all the white guys were trying to like make sure that nobody else joined in. Like, let's let them settle their beef. You know, we're all naked, you know. Yeah. It's like, imagine this. Everybody's like bear hugging each other. It's like, oh, dog, make sure your wiener doesn't touch his butt. You know, like, stay out here. So yeah, so fighting guys in the shower, I've seen it,
dude. So the disrespect of getting slapped with a piss-soaked, soapy shower slipper cannot be replicated.
You got it, dude. And I've heard the sound.
If that shit happens in the streets, you're getting put 6 feet under, dude, guaranteed.
Or you go to the bottom of the ranking system.
Oh
real
yeah,
quick.
you're the bitch, dude. You better kill that motherfucker, because if you don't, you're the bitch. That's the truth.
So who won?
Did the shower shoe assaultor win, or did the shower shoe assault win?
I think the assaultor got the better, because one, he got the jump, but he was a bigger guy too.
It was a sneak attack.
Yeah, he looked like a big teddy bear. His name's Sandy D. Dude, I'll never. I think I'm friends with the guy on Facebook.
Dude, this motherfucker needs a T-shirt.
Dude, he looks like a panda bear. Like, he kind of had like that body where he was a catcher. He had a real big belly. You know, he's an underdeveloped guy because he was a younger kid. He's a Dominican kid. He's probably 18, 19. At this time, I'm like 23. And dude, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm
dude,
just playing this in my mind, dude.
I mean, the shower room's about this big, so there's like 20 shower heads, and dude, and everybody in the shower, you talk mad shit, like, you know what I mean? It's game's over, but everybody's fucking running their mouth.
So
to each other.
the real question is, how many butts did your dick touch? I know it touched a few.
No, I'm clean in that game. I was old enough to stay the fuck out of it. I was old enough, I swear. I mean, I remember, I don't even think I skipped a beat, man. I was still shampooing my hair, and they're fucking going at it, and they're beating each other. And there's this guy, his name's Andy Schutzenhofer. He's here in town. I remember, you know, Juju Pfizer is what we called, that's what Sandy called this guy. And I remember us being like, what in the fuck is going on with this guy? So that's my fight shower story.
Yeah. So what's that have to do with Christmas?
I don't know. But
you said you thought about fighting guys in the shower.
I do. You don't do that? You don't like have like fake arguments in your brain? Like, dude, I'm going to fucking say this to this motherfucker, and this is what he's going to say back. And when he says this back, I'm going to say this shit. And then he's going to shut the fuck up.
I do
you
that.
Don't do that?
No, I totally do that. And then my wife sees the expression on my face and thinks I'm mad at her. She's like, what? What are you mad about?
Bro,
like,
I'm playing chess in my head in the shower, dude. With conversations. I'm like, all right. I already got my list when I come to work. I got like a hit list. I'm like, all right, this motherfucker, he's getting it. This dude's getting this, and this dude's getting that. And that's that. And when they say these 3 things, I'm saying these 4 things. And when they say those 4 things, I'm saying, fuck you. Then I'm going to slam the door. Like, dude.
I don't know why.
I'm not playing chess. I'm playing more like Connect 4, but.
Well, yeah, we'd all know that. I don't know why that's surprising, but Andrew, you're making it seem like you have this big, long game plan. Usually you walk in, you say something, you just say "fuck you." You said there was 4 moves in there.
Yeah,
you have a 2-move process.
Yeah, the problem is that like I'm short on time, so I got to cut right to the fucking point.
Yeah, go in. Hey, how you doing? Hey, fuck you. Door slam. Hey, good seeing you. That's if you've ever had a meeting with Andy Frisella, that's what it sounds like.
That is not what it's like. That is not. It takes.
Typically, what it's like is all right, this is true. It's a 3-step move. Hey, what's going on? Oh, that's a good idea. That's my idea. Glad I came up with it. Hey, fuck you! Slam the door. Then he leaves.
Yeah.
Well, you were talking about pride, and you guys were both talking about pride. And I will say that I had a little pride this Christmas that I am not, this is going to be a huge surprise to everybody. I'm not the handiest person on the planet. Like, I have trouble putting together.
Wait.
You know.
Yeah.
Like,
do you remember the time you were cutting your tree down and I called you and I said, hey, bro.
Yeah.
I said, that's like real shit.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with that.
Yeah.
And what happened? Fuck a tree end up on the roof.
Well, no, actually what happened was that I lived because I listened to what you said because I thought, well, you know, he sounds like genuinely concerned about
You literally
this.
dropped a tree on your roof?
No. So one Sunday morning, we had a tree that we needed to prune back, and I thought, well, I'm going to save some money, so I went and got a hacksaw from Home Depot.
Did the tree end up on your roof?
No.
Are you sure?
No, I promise you it didn't.
I must be thinking of
well,
someone
no,
else.
you're right. It did. It leaned against my roof.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
There you go.
It didn't like fall. Like, no, what happened was I basically...
You bought a fucking hacksaw to trim a tree?
I wanted to save money. Dude, it costs a lot of money to have people...
Hacksaw.
I got a hacksaw. It was a really good one because I got 3/4 of the way through, and then I was like, you know, I don't know if I should be doing this because it's kind of a big limb and it started creaking really loud. And I thought, I wonder if that limb's a little heavier than I think it is. And so I posted on social media and Andy's like, dude, what do you think? Like, you're going to die. You literally are going to die. So,
dude, my neighbor at my old house, man, was doing that. I told you about that, right? When my neighbor up the street at Fawnwood, when I was living over there, he was cutting a tree limb off of his tree, him and his father-in-law or something, and somehow the tree, like when he cut it,
kicked back on him.
Kicked back, and it broke his neck, and now he's paralyzed.
Yeah. So
like he's in a like completely paralyzed from the neck down.
So this isn't the guy that let us borrow the mulcher, is it?
No.
Do you remember that when Duvert, we dropped those trees in your backyard? And
No.
Fucking move those.
But no, that's the guy across the street.
Fucking
yeah. That guy was cool.
So my wife comes out and I was like, because she had told me, don't do this. And I said, well, Andy told me not to do it either. And she says, why don't you call the fire department? So I called the fire department and they came out. I said, yeah, my wife and my boss told me not to do it.
Are you fucking serious? You called the fire department?
Yeah, it was a Sunday. There really wasn't anything to do. Well, at that point,
to trim your trees?
No. Well, they actually, believe it or not, they do.
What the fuck?
No, it was going to fall.
So our tax dollars go to your stupidity.
Maybe
Appreciate
a little bit.
that. That's awesome.
But anyway, so the point is, this guy comes out. He looks at it. He
should have
says,
bought a chainsaw.
Wait,
he says,
dude, for real though, like I got to understand this.
Okay.
How does it connect in your brain to call the fucking fire department when a tree falls down?
Well, no, it wasn't falling down. Like, it was going to fall. We weren't sure where it was going to fall.
Yeah,
so
but
I thought it was kind of a...
Wouldn't you, like, Google, like, even if you knew nothing, like, if you knew that it wasn't called, like, an arborist, wouldn't you Google, like
tree
I
service?
need a tree cut
well,
down?
It was Sunday. Here's what I didn't know. I didn't realize that most tree...
Understand, like, in his head, Ender's connecting the dots in the shower. Like, the whole audience has already connected the dots, so you don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
We figured this out.
Well, what I'm saying is
you don't even have to explain that.
I honestly didn't even know that most tree places are open 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Or you think trees only fall down, like, during
I
fucking
don't
business
know.
hours?
But anyway, so I called the the fire department did come out.
Internet hours.
Yeah, the fire department did come out and they said, listen, believe it or not, like, we're not going to mess with this. We're not qualified to mess with this. And they said, but we do call this a widowmaker because some dumb husband comes out and starts doing this and ends up making a widow.
Well, you're welcome.
So we called, yeah. $2,000 later, I got the whole tree fixed. But
well, is your life worth life's worth $2,000, isn't it?
I know it's probably worth a little bit more than that. Hopefully,
I would hope so.
But no, but I appreciate that because I was awfully close to cutting that thing. I mean, I was like 3/4 of the way through that.
Bro,
that
usually
branch.
when I see you about to do something dumb, I kind of like let you do it. That way I can see what happens.
But usually too that I can tell like when you're just irritated and when you're like genuinely concerned.
Yeah.
And I was like
when you said you're going to beat up Sal, and I said,
right.
That's not. You're not allowed to fight Sal.
Those texts, I ought to screenshot.
Fire department won't help you in that either.
But here's my here.
Police might. They might. You can call them. This guy is beating my ass. Okay, sir, where you at?
Well, we got distracted with the tree. But what I was going to say was I was very proud of myself. Even though I'm not handy, I actually
bought a hacksaw.
I actually successfully completed the construction of the Barbie dream home for my girls. But then when I was feeling really good about myself, I don't know if you guys saw this on TMZ reported that, now I don't have all the Kardashians kind of identified in my head, so I might be getting this wrong, but Kris Jenner, who I think is like the matriarch, right?
Correct.
She bought her granddaughter, Stormy, who I believe is 6.
Okay.
Literally, she didn't buy it. She commissioned this literally life-size dollhouse. So...
Wait.
Yeah.
You mean like a regular house?
Well, no. If you see
that would
pictures
be a
of it,
life-size house.
well, if you see pictures of it, she's literally created this.
So she built her a house, or she built her like a mini house.
Well, according to the pictures, and they do it kind
Tyler,
of
Google
like,
this shit.
Yeah,
Give me a picture.
It kind of looks like it. Like
I mean, are you hating on her because she bought a really nice treehouse?
No, I'm trying
it's
to
coming full circle here.
Before we get into this, I'm confused because a life-size playhouse would be a regular house.
well, you'd think so, but they're reporting.
Tyler, what is it?
They're reporting it as a dollhouse, and everything's.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
It's a house.
Yeah.
But it's like a small house though. It's not a regular size house.
But it's scaled to look like the dimensions of kind of the.
If she was an adult human, it would be to scale for her to be the right size house for her.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense.
So
it's like the size of like one of those prefab buildings you buy at like Home Depot. Maybe a little bit bigger than that.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't
I
know how
can
much
get
that
down with
costs.
that though.
Yeah, I've seen that around here. I don't
Yeah.
think that's like. I don't think that's like too crazy.
No.
I've seen people do
I
shit
think
like
that's
that.
TMZ trying to drum up some shit. I mean, listen. If you're Kris Jenner, I mean, she's got some dough. I think that's appropriate.
All right.
You think that's inappropriate?
Well, no, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question.
Yeah, I don't-
I mean, I don't like to tell people how to
I
spend
mean,
their
listen,
money.
that's a treehouse. It's just a nice treehouse.
Yeah, but then Kanye got his daughter, who I think is isn't that Northwest? He got his daughter an authentic.
I think
Michael.
it's just north.
No, it's Northwest.
Oh, last name. Got it.
Yeah. He got his daughter an authentic Michael Jackson coat that apparently he wore on tour, which was $65,000.
Well, that's pretty fucking badass.
I mean, it's badass. I mean, but
That wasn't even the biggest story. The biggest story was that Kylie Jenner bought her daughter, who's 1 year old, a big fat diamond ring, and that's what the internet's up in storm. about.
Okay.
What are they pissed off about? No, but just that
The
she
fact
spent
that a 1 year old has like
diamond
a
ring.
giant
I mean, the
rock.
first thing that comes to my mind is, man, that's a choke hazard. That's how you know. That's how you know you're getting old.
Okay.
Like,
How many
shit,
carats
man.
was it?
Doesn't matter. They can swallow it.
Yeah.
I mean, listen. People spend their money on whatever the fuck they
I mean,
want.
come on, dude. Like, let's be real. They're a fucking media machine. I mean, they're doing shit to get people to talk. So, I mean, it's kind of in line with what they do. I mean, is it fucking morally okay to get your kid a diamond ring? Dude, it's all relative. Like, it's fucking relative. That's what people don't understand. I've seen this for years because I live a pretty nice lifestyle. People think that, they see that and they think like, holy shit, she just bought him $100,000 ring. That's what I make in a year. Well, fuck, dude, they make that in an hour.
Right.
I don't even.
So, like, it's relative. You got to understand that. That's what people don't understand. Just because you would have to mortgage your house to buy that ring doesn't mean, to them, that's like going and buying a fucking six-pack. Like, that's what people miss.
Right.
It's completely relative.
Maybe they're smarter than we are because I look at it as like, hey, listen, I spent all this money on these toys that eventually end up a Goodwill or in the trash, and at least they'll
That
get
thing's
their
gonna
money
still
back
be
in that
worth
diamond.
something.
That's a good question. I
Maybe
mean,
that's the
is
game.
the intent to be an
And
heirloom?
it gets people talking, which is their
Yeah.
whole thing.
Yeah, I think that's probably the long
Well,
and short
they
of
have
it.
been very successful at that.
But you're right. Like
Nobody's better.
No. Yeah.
You say whatever you want about him.
Yeah.
You can say, and just like you can say whatever you want about Trump. The bottom line is, there's people in this world that know how to manipulate the media and fucking win. Kardashians do it. Kanye does it. Trump does it. And that's the deal.
And I mean, Vaughn, all you got to do is be famous and get yourself on one of those little sex tapes, babe.
I'm not sure anybody would buy
You
my
know, you get
sex
on there.
tape.
Yeah, well, I would agree with that.
I mean, I'm the first
You'd have
to
one
admit.
sale. It'd be your
No,
wife
it-
finding figure out who you're with.
Vaughn will make a sex boomerang.
What is a sex boomerang?
That's your
That way-
2
that
seconds
way-
of fame. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What is that? What a sex boomerang is? 2
What?
seconds of fame. What's a sex boomerang? I don't even
It
know.
would be your entire sex. And don't
In
worry,
2 seconds,
it's
yeah.
got you covered.
Yeah. Everybody else caught it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know, I guess I'll be happy that I don't know.
Good
what a
news
sex
is it'll
boomerang
look like you got a good stroke because it'll
Yeah.
be completely repetitive.
So are
Yeah.
you saying like way back when that whole sex tape came out with Kim Kardashian, that wasn't leaked? She did that on purpose?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, that's how
Of
she technically
course,
became
man.
famous.
Yeah.
That's the number one trick right now. That's what you see a lot of these Instagram personalities doing. They're saying, "Oh, my cloud got hacked," and now there's videos of them nude or fucking jerking off or whatever. You know,
Right.
like, dude, people are willing to do anything now to get press.
Right.
They're willing to violate their moral code. They're willing to embarrass their families. They're willing to do anything. And like, dude, you could say whatever you want, but it's kind of fucked up to me that look, a 12-year-old kid who's just starting to get fucking boners can go online and see pretty much everybody they look up to naked. It's weird. That's weird to me.
Yeah.
Like when I was a kid, you had to like search for naked.
Well, I mean, but you got to think what's
Mr.
Yeah,
Skin.
but like, dude, like I can remember Matt Sapicki, our fucking buddy, had a Playboy
Wayne
hidden up
Gretzky's
in
wife.
the fucking rafters of
Oh, yeah.
our
Paulina- not
garage.
Paulina. Wayne Gretzky's wife, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, we used to go in there and we'd be like, "Oh, dude," like that's how we
There's
used
a candle
to do
out
it.
there. You set the romantic tone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
but
guys,
like-
listen,
No,
you're,
but
not,
hey,
you're not as
listen.
old as I am. You probably don't
Hey.
remember BBS boards. Do you remember BBS boards? They were like the precursor to the internet.
I
You
do.
you remember those?
Yes.
Well, on old BBS boards, you
It's
also
like a forum board.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
a forum board, and you used to be able to download, early on there was
Bro.
only like bikini pictures and stuff.
Hold on.
Hold on a second. But literally, you would sit there for an hour waiting for a bikini picture to download, like one line at a time.
Oh yeah, dude. But you
You'd be
waited.
Like,
You waited, didn't you?
yeah, of course I did.
That's why you had to join the church.
But yeah, exactly.
That's
you
why-
know.
But I'm going to tell you right now, we think that. Well, right now we're going, we think they're weird. They got everything at their fingertips. What happens if you had to go tell the kid, hey, man, go find a National Geographic?
Dude, no shit.
They'd be like, man,
But, dude,
you guys are fucking weird.
Yeah, but you know what, dude? Let's be fucking real for fucking a minute.
J.C. Penney,
What are these kids going to be doing when they're like 30?
I don't know.
You know what I'm
know.
saying? Like, dude, when you're like
seriously.
13 and you fucking see the shit that's online and the shit people are doing and you see it all, these kids are going to have problems even performing sexually. Like, for real. Or they're
crazy.
going to be doing fucked up
It
shit.
is crazy what's available.
Because, dude, look, I'm all about it. You're into what you're into. Fuck, dude. You know what I'm saying? I've blown up computers looking at fucking porn before.
For real, it was a
That's
black
the truth.
compact.
All right?
Two girls, one
But
cup.
what I'm saying, no, I didn't. I did see that, but I didn't enjoy it. But I do always
it was that
remember
computer,
one.
though. I know that
But
for
like,
sure.
look, dude, look. Here's the truth. That shit shouldn't be allowed. There should be ways to keep fucking people really out of that shit. You know what I mean? And dude, unfortunately, the answer seems to be that it has to go away to keep kids away from it now.
No, I think there are some things, and these are things that, I don't know yet, but I've obviously...
Aren't you concerned about stuff like that?
Of course, but I mean,
Yeah.
there are tools, and this is actually part of, building a new building I'm going through, you get to see, what is available from an internet security standpoint. How can you monitor who goes where? and
Yeah, see,
what
I'm
does
ignorant
what.
to that. I'll admit that. I
Yeah.
don't know how people keep their kids off of that shit, but
Doing
I
the
know
due-
if I was 12, I'd
figure it
figure
out.
the shit out.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, I think, as a parent, that's one of the things. You need to make sure that you're proactively seeking how to
Be ahead of your kid.
That's correct.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Versus just being a camel and sticking
Yeah.
your fucking head in an
Yeah.
ostrich, I guess.
Now the big question is, did you guys ever stand in front of the scrambled TV screen?
Fuck yeah, dude.
hoping that
Vaughn,
it would,
don't ask stupid questions. Channel 98, bro.
Yeah.
You had to time
Everybody
it.
knows that.
Yeah.
No, that's not an unwritten code.
Bro.
You know what I mean? It's the one thing about being in a locker room with all them guys. All these weird questions to you, they ain't fucking weird.
No,
Fucking,
dude.
bro.
Every once in a while, you get a titty in there, and you would rewind it and forward it and rewind it and forward it. It'd be fucking great. We had to work for that shit though. It was no joke. We did.
Yeah.
Now it's oh, dude, I feel like seeing this.
I mean,
and it
I
comes
remember-
up.
I remember vividly, man. We had the box. Do you guys remember the box?
Dude, the
Yeah.
box.
It was like MTV, but it was on regular TV. It was
Yeah, but
Channel
it was
58.
also, but you could actually call in there,
Yeah.
and fucking request videos, and they would play.
Yeah, and they charge them to your phone bill.
Yeah, and then we get in
Sir
trouble.
Mix-a-Lot, they used to have this
Yeah.
this video, put them on the glass. That's right. And I'm going to tell you right now, you should go to YouTube, Sir Mix-a-Lot, put them on the glass. And I'm going to tell you right now, there were thousands of kids just like us all over the fucking St. Louis area calling into the box.
Yeah.
Watch that video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sir, I know why Sir Mix-a-Lot was popular. It has nothing to do with his music.
Dude, I remember staying over at one of my teammates' baseball growing up, just for the pure fact that their family had cable, and that meant
Oh, yeah.
Skinamax.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
we didn't get cable
So,
till we
dude,
were...
how do we keep these young kids off the sauce until they're old enough?
Yeah, I mean, I think, dude, one of the goals for me being a parent is making sure that I'm involved in their lives. If you're involved in everything that's going on, you can have a beat to what's happening. I think a lot of parents, they choose to turn their head and then
100%.
that shit goes on,
Because it's awkward and they don't want to address
don't wanna
it.
be
Yeah, but I mean, what,
Yeah.
So you just gonna let your kid become a fucking weirdo?
Well, that's what happens. I mean, listen, I'm learning this as parenting styles. Your parenting style is not going to align a lot of people, and it causes conflict. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think I'm not afraid of conflict. Especially being in business and understand, I have to address this issue. Otherwise, it's going to become a bigger issue. Right? It's no different with your kids.
right.
Address it. Explain it to them. Is it going to be weird? Well, it's going to be a lot more weird later on down the line whenever you see your fucking kids on Pornhub. You know what I mean?
No shit.
Right.
Stepdaughter, stepsister,
Fuck,
bullshit.
dude, that's where we're going.
No, I know.
In 20 years, dude, social media, it's going to be a fucking Instagram, but everybody's going to be naked.
Yeah.
Butt naked. It's
Well,
going to
and
end
you
up
see it, dude. You see it in swimsuits, in little
Yeah.
kids, they're getting, you know what I mean? They're getting less and less and less and less. And I think, having a moral set of standards and addressing those issues and being a fucking man, that is not, it's not popular anymore. You know what I mean? You want to,
Girls are wearing makeup earlier and
Yeah,
earlier, too,
dude.
now. Dude, you look at the 14-year-olds
and the parents want to run
today.
from that conversation. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And I just look at it as well, I'd rather build a strong relationship of trust with my children by addressing things so that whenever they have problems, they will address them with me. That's like where you step one, right?
Dude, it's what you talked about today in the Instagram post you post about building men of character, people of character,
Right. They're
women
built.
of character. It's all the same.
Right.
You say men of character, we're meaning that's just because it was in the context of Enzo being his son.
Correct.
Right.
But like, you got to build that shit. It's not. It
No
doesn't
magic
just
dust,
happen.
and it doesn't happen over time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It happens through conflict, really.
Bro, and how many people have we seen just through business who get to be 22, 23 years old and they get pushed out in the real world for real?
But they get their fucking ass kicked.
Dude, fuck.
Well, you see it. I don't know if it's happening more now than ever, or I'm just getting older and understand it or recognize it more now than ever. That's something that I haven't figured out. You know what I mean? Like, people say, "Oh, well, kids today are fucked up." Well, have kids today always been fucked
No,
up?
they always have been.
Yeah, right. So as you get older, you start.
That's my argument with the millennial thing. Like, people say, "Oh, fucking millennials, this and that." Dude, that's such bullshit. Dude, we got a whole company full of millennials, and we fucking do well.
They changed the millennial structure, so now technically, 1981, I'm a millennial.
Is that right?
Fuck yeah! So I'm going to embrace it. Listen, I'm a millennial maker, baby. Like, come on. Like, I mean that. Like, these old guys, like, they'll be like, "Oh, the millennials." I'm like, "Well, I'm a millennial."
Not only that,
you want to play business,
you don't think
motherfucker?
there's fucking lazy motherfuckers at every age?
Dude, I can
Like-
think of, and you see them as you get older. Like, you know, you have
Dude,
uncles.
I would say that this is the honest to God's truth. I think the people who fucking made the millennials are actually the lazy motherfuckers. That's what I think.
Yeah,
Like the parents,
that
the parents
generation's
are responsible for the
fucking
generation.
right they
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
And they get no fucking blowback on it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Dude, of course. Dude, they raise their kids under this idealistic shit that's, oh, everybody deserves this and everybody gets this and this and this and this. And these kids they've grown up hearing this for the last 8, 10, 12 years. And now they're 20 and they're 21 and society's having to deal with people not knowing literally anything about the real fucking world. That's why we're seeing this crazy, social fucking anger. And the anger is misplaced. The anger should be on their fucking parents for not teaching them the shit they need to know, not on society for not being the way they want it to be.
Right.
Because the truth is society's hard. It's going to work and doing well is hard. It takes practice. Being a good parent, you know what? That shit's hard too. Taking care of your body and your mental health, pretty fucking hard shit to do. You've got to be consistent in terms of delivering in all those areas. You don't just get to throw a fucking tantrum and say, "I deserve to be happy. I deserve to be successful. Make a hashtag for me," and fucking that doesn't do anything.
Well, but this is where you got to understand, like, that's the world they grew up in, so that's what they know.
I know that.
You know?
Yes.
And we deal with it not too often because I think most of our young guys and girls here, they come here because I think they seek and they're like-minded with.
But it's not their fucking fault that they were raised to believe that shit. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, no, without a doubt.
So,
No.
dude, I can tell you, I've sat down with hundreds of people in that age group inside of our own companies and had talks with them and say, "Hey, here's how it is."
Right. I know you think it's this way.
Yes.
But I promise you it's this way.
Yeah, and you know what, dude? They either get it and then they start doing really well, and then they come back and they're like, "Holy shit, dude!
Thank you
for that." Or they fucking quit. They pout. They try to threaten you. They say ignorant shit, and
it's part of. I mean, and that's a realistic thing. It's interesting because, sitting on the business side, right? Like I always now, especially since having kids, I always try to say, okay, well, if that were my son, what would I want somebody to say to him? Or if that were my daughter, what would I want somebody to say to him? And so I try to address things very matter of fact like that. And to Andrew's point, like you can see when it when it resonates with somebody and they're going to kind of adopt it, or they don't like it. You know what I mean? And they don't like that it's not their way. And you can understand. You can say, okay, well, then it's okay. Then you can leave. Go find somewhere where it can be your way. But I'm
they
going
don't
to tell
like
you
that though.
No.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So,
Although
but I always try to tell them the truth. You know what I mean?
100.
Always.
Well, the problem is that in across business is that we have a generation of people who really weren't anything special to begin with, raised another generation under what they think it should be versus what it is. And now these people are going into the real world and they're having a tough time.
Yeah.
And so if you want to fix it and you want to work with people of that age, you have to tell the truth and you have to be direct with them instead of trying to cater your style or your rules or your like, dude, when you're a business and you employ people and they throw a fucking tantrum and you just decide to change shit, you're just doing what they've dealt with their whole life. How many places are going to do that? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's important that the truth gets talked about in a real way and have a real conversation with people because that's their only chance to actually fix themselves. You understand?
Yeah, absolutely. I think also something I've noticed about you guys too is that, and this is, I think, significant in every area of life, is that when you have those conversations and people don't take them well and they get all mad and you said, that's fine. You go find a place where it's going to be more to your liking. But the reality is that that's probably not going to happen. The reality is that they're probably going to have to fall on their face and learn the hard way.
Yeah, it's no
and
different
I think
than
that's
100%.
I think that's what a lot of people today in positions of authority are just not willing to do. We're not willing to let people just fall on their face and learn the hard way.
Well, and I think, delivering the truth is not something that's easy to do, and handling the truth is not something that's easy to learn, and understanding that place it's a tricky ground, but like I don't get emotional anymore. Like guys know, like they're very rare in these walls I get mad because I've learned if it's the truth, it's the truth. Like I don't know, you can't get emotional about it, but trying to explain that to a 22-year-old kid who's always gotten his way, they get emotional, and you got to teach them, like, hey, listen, man, like, you're going to have to deal with the fucking truth. I know you haven't dealt with the truth your entire life, but the faster you can understand it, like, this is not whether I like you or don't like you. This is whether
it's just the facts.
Yeah, we're just dealing with black and white here. You know what I mean? Like, and 1 and 1 is 2. It's not fucking 32. It's 2. So you have to understand that. And so teaching those kids that has been, but I mean, listen, you got to learn it at some point in time. And
I'm very proud of how we handle it because I feel like, there's a number of people out there inside our walls and outside our walls who have been here who have learned those lessons and gone on to figure it out.
I've learned that the truth always wins.
I agree.
It always comes out. It always wins. You know what I'm
agree.
saying? Like if you're dealing with facts, like it's not, there's nothing to do. You know what I mean? Like what are you going to argue about? It's fucking true or false. You know what I mean?
Right. So guys, we talked about, what is it? What was it? $100,000 ring? Is that what it was? $100,000 ring that somebody got their kid, their 1-year-old kid, and then we talked about
ring,
right. We talked about the dollhouse, talked about the Michael Jackson jacket, and then we obviously touched on this whole thing about this desensitization of sex on the internet and that kind of thing. I feel like whether it's giving gifts or getting the next best thing or likes on social media or sex or whatever. Dude, I just feel like our society, I tend to think we're just hitting the wrong buttons in terms of what's going to really make us satisfied and happy in life. And how have we gotten this place,
Well, I'm going to tell you, first of all, I don't think very many people truly understand happiness at all. I think it's a cliche thing. I think there's a lot of people out there trying to sell how to be happy that don't know how to fucking be happy themselves. I think there's a lot of people who misunderstand what happiness really is. And I think there's a lot of people who, want it to be a certain way that it just isn't. I don't think it's like anything what people think it is. People consistently look for this time and this place and this next thing. And once I get here and once I get after that and once I do this, I'll be happy. And that shit just never happens. It just doesn't happen like that. And so when you talk to people about the truth about happiness and the fact that it's a daily mission and it's actually a decision and it's actually something that you can either consciously create or a state that you can be in because you are truly ignorant. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. And that's not a bad thing. Some people are just less aware than other people. And when you have people who are less aware, it's easier for them to be happy because they don't have to think about it. But when you have someone who's very aware, like that has an achiever mindset, who's goal-oriented and driven and ambitious and wants to win, you have to learn how to create happiness on a daily basis. Otherwise, you're going to always be unhappy because the nature of being ambitious is getting punched in the fucking face every single day. So if you get punched in the face every single day and it hurts and it derails you, how can you ever be happy? And that's the trick.
So,
People have a hard time accepting or understanding that this is not just like a place that you arrive at randomly.
Well, plus I think
And you're not entitled to it, by the way.
no, well, and I think that therein lies the problem, right? You know, how do you become famous? You grow up, fantasizing to be famous or important, right? I mean, you see athletes, you see movie stars, you see all the things, okay? And so what happened in today's internet world, I mean, goes back to, the Kardashians and Paris Hilton, like they have sex tapes, right? And they get out on the internet. Well, Instagram's allowed this same thing where we're creating these quote-unquote famous people who aren't really fucking famous. They just have, really good bodies or, whatever. And they were first to the Instagram and they wear less clothes than everybody else. And so what happens is it's like lowering your
Or
moral
they flash. There could be a million things. It's not just about the clothes.
Yeah, no. I'm just ideal
Right.
one sense,
Yeah.
and then they lower the standard for what happy is or success is, and then all these other people follow it, and they go down this tunnel and like, well, I'm going to get naked on the internet, and I'm going to fucking show this, and I'm going to do this.
Even when people don't want to do that.
Yeah,
That's
they're doing it
that's
because they
the
think that's
problem.
what it takes to get famous.
I know, but what I'm saying, there's a very clear distinction. If that's what you love and that's truly what makes you happy,
No problem.
then fucking do it.
Go be great at it.
That's right.
But if you just want to be famous, and you think that's the channel to go do it,
Correct.
You get to the destination.
That's
you're
where
like,
to eat your fucking soul.
That's right. You get
Yeah.
to the destination, you're like, that's it.
Yeah.
Because it's not fulfilling. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so the internet's allowed a kind of a false sense of celebrity, if you will. And unfortunately, like, for those people who are inherently fucking doing that, like you get there and it's not happy. The happiness, and I think Andrew touched on this, is, dude, overcoming the struggle, embracing the struggle.
Yeah, but
understanding,
that's only happiness if you're aware. If you're not aware,
right. You think you're getting beat.
if you're not aware, you can be happy. Like there's people who walk around this earth who are generally happy-natured people and very simple in the way that they think. There's also people who appear to be very simple in the way they think, and they are happy by nature from the outside, who have a lot of fucking discipline built up, and they are making a conscious choice to live like that. And so to say, oh, well, all the people who are just blissfully happy walking around are ignorant, that's not true. They can be ignorant, but they can also be highly disciplined people. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But if you're an achiever mindset and you're someone who is trying to win, you're trying to earn more money, you're trying to be better family man, you're trying to be in better shape, your happiness, you are always struggling. So you are going to have to tie your happiness to accomplishing whatever it is that you need to do on a daily basis to get where it is that you're trying to go. And you do that not just by winning the battles, but also by living with integrity to the values that you set for yourself, that you truly value. Meaning, if you don't value some of the basic common laws of society, that could be a bad thing. But that doesn't mean that you can't live to the things that are important to you first, right? As long as it's not illegal and it's not something that hurts people. But living to your own values with integrity to those is truly a huge part of the happiness puzzle. Yep. So it's 2 parts. It's like 5 parts, but it's
a good foundation, no?
Yeah. It's being appreciative. It's also, people like to say gratitude, that's what they say. It's doing the things you tell yourself you're going to do. It's doing the things you're supposed to do on a day-by-day basis and winning those battles as much as you can. And not just like, oh, I'm going to try to win as much as I can. I mean, making fucking sure that you get that shit done. Okay? And then there's a couple other things, that require to be happy, but those are the foundations. That's the truth. So
where are the emotions and all that, dude? Like, because I know everybody thinks of happiness as feeling good. How would you like, in your view, how would you explain the relationship between quote unquote feeling good and happiness?
I think that people generally take feeling good. Like, dude, there's going to be random things that happen to you throughout the day that are going to make you feel good. Mm-hmm. That make you happy.
Like your dog.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
But the smart person, the logical thinker, will actually create a system to put in place that creates the product of happiness as much as possible. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of like being an entrepreneur and taking control, or just playing the lottery every day. That's the difference. So, putting a system in place to test yourself and to do the things you know you're supposed to do, along with a system in place to express gratitude, along with a system in place to, have a laugh, along with you could systemize all that shit by creating your daily routines and making sure that you obey that routine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think, honestly, dude, the thing that strikes me about what you're saying is that I think a lot of people think of happiness the same as love. Like love is just something that happens to you. You can't help but fall in love.
Most people are fucking fucked up when it comes to love, too.
Yeah.
They think love is infatuation.
Right.
They think love and infatuation are two different fucking things. Like, dude, when you first start dating someone and you can't get enough of them and this and that, that's what most people think is love. That's not love.
Right.
That's infatuation. It's a phase of attraction. Okay? So when you start feeling all this shit and then it all fades away, we live in a throwaway society. And then people say, well, I'm not in love with that person anymore. Well, you actually have never gotten to love yet, because the love doesn't come until after the gap of when the infatuation goes away. And then there's like this weird place where you're like, what the fuck is going on? Is this my life? It's pretty cool, but like I don't really have too much to feel. And then you start to build respect. And then when you get the respect phase and you're like, fuck, dude, this person has my fucking back no matter what, that's when love happens.
Yeah.
But most people never even get there because they think that the warm, fuzzy shit in the beginning is love. That's not fucking love. Like you spend time with anybody new, you're going to have similar feelings that you get along with.
Yeah.
Anybody.
Yeah, 100%.
Love there's very much a lot of struggle inside love. You know what I mean? And I think by society now, we run from struggle versus embracing struggle. Because
dude,
what comes up?
I got in a big fight with so-and-so. You know what? I guess they're a piece of shit after all. And then they fucking go to the internet for something to replace it.
The bond happens through the repair process. You know what I mean? Like the real genuine kind of understanding from both perspectives. Okay, this is where I was at. This is where you're at. Hey, okay, so now you start talking. You start communicating. Imagine that. And you start repairing. And you understand next time to go be better, right? And how not to go down that road. And that's like part of the process of understanding, like there's highs and lows, but you got to recover from the lows and it makes the highs stronger.
But it's our whole culture that is just so passive. We think love just happens. You don't have to work for it. We think that
anything great
happiness
in life you have
just
to work
happens.
for.
Like I love what you said. Like happiness is a project. It's like there's a
Yeah,
I think something that Andrew said that
process that you have to engage in to actually produce happiness, which I think is a pretty revolutionary idea in our culture.
Well, for me, this is something because
nobody's fucking saying it. I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Andrew said something, and I think it's exercising discipline against your own deal, right? Like because you're winning, and then winning solves a lot of fucking problems. Mm-hmm. But for me, like I'm very aware because for me, happiness. Everybody says, "Well, how do you find balance?" You don't find balance. Like you're never gonna find balance. I got 3 kids under 3. I got fucking shit going everywhere. I got business and relationship, and how do you fucking do it? Well, you have to prioritize all of them, and so for me, I've learned, and I do this through my daily schedule from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. That's my time for me. If I want to read, I try to work out. If I want to reflect, if I want to be me, I'm me from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. because that's one of my buckets. Mm-hmm. From 7 to 9, I'm dad because being a dad makes me happy. Being me makes me happy, right? These are all things that add to my quote unquote happiness equation. I brought these kids into the world. I'm going to spend time with them. I'm going to cook them breakfast. I'm going to change their diaper. I'm going to be dad. That's from 7 to 9. At 9:01, I'm businessman. Like I'm out, and this is where I get all these people like, oh man, I'll hustle it at 5 a.m. to 7 p.m., blah, blah, blah. Well, you're not doing it correctly. You're fucking unorganized. So from 9 a.m. to 5:30, 6 o'clock p.m., I'm fucking business guy because business makes me happy too. You know what I'm saying? I have a lot of friends here. I like what I do. I love coming here every day. And it's one of my buckets. It's one of the things that makes me happy. And so between the hours of 9 and 5, like I don't let anybody steal that time. Just like I don't let them steal my personal time. I don't let them steal my kid time. I don't let them steal my work time. I don't go to lunch. I eat lunch at my desk. We have meetings. I'm almost always they're here because that's important to me too. When I get back home, 6 o'clock, from 6 to 8, I'm dad.
So what strikes me about what you just said, first 2 hours, self-development. Next 2 hours, family. The rest of the up until what you said, 6, work. Excuse me. Business. None of those things can be satisfactory or enjoyable without hard work.
Well, let me. Well,
what I'm saying?
Well, it's dedication to the process because I understand. Yeah. So let me finish my day out here, and I'll kind of how I got to this place. From 6 to 8, I'm dad again. We put the kids down, then I'm husband. I got to fill that bucket too because I love my wife and I want to make sure that I'm there for her. And I let her lead. Like whatever she wants to eat, we eat. If she wants to work, I'll open up my laptop and work. But I let her go first. And for me, what I've done is prioritize my happiness, things that make me happy into my life, and I attack them very diligently. And I'm never going to win at one bucket, but I can chip away at each bucket every day, making sure that I'm filling those buckets consistently across the board. And it's allowed me much more success in my day-to-day from the standpoint of like what I love to do. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, for people who are busy and disorganized, get organized on attacking, to Andrew's point, of building yourself around things that make you happy and making sure you're fucking going after them. You can't just fucking put them in there and then kind of act like, well, I'm supposed to be happy. No, you got to go fucking get after it, you know? And it's helped me a great deal in that sense.
You know what else strikes me about what you just said? I feel like, we live in a time where obviously we have the internet. Everything's super, super complex. I mean, at least that's the lie, that life is complex. We have all of these different forces at work in the world and culture, and you can log on to what I don't even know how many pages there are on the internet. But I think the idea is that there's all these experts, they know what they're talking about. Who do you believe? Blah 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 blah. But what you just said, like, sounds pretty simple. And I'm just kind of wondering, guys, if you think that one of the lies about happiness, about love, about one of the lies is that it's all very complex.
Well, yeah, you know why? Because you can't sell simple.
Yeah.
No I mean, fuck, dude. How are you gonna fucking sell simple shit? You know what I'm saying? If you don't put magic in it and make it mysterious, nobody wants to buy it. So marketing is what fucking causes this. There's all kinds of books on how to be happy. And it all leads to like you having to like buy somebody's shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There's all kinds of books on how to love, but it all leads to fucking going to their seminars and going here and going there. There's all kinds of books on how. This is why I got out of the fucking entrepreneurship bullshit. Okay, because 99% of the motherfuckers in that space don't know fucking shit about business. They're fucking fake. They
set up one ClickFunnel.
They set up one fucking income stream and then call themselves an entrepreneur. And what people don't realize is when you run an actual business, you need a plethora of fucking skills, not just one lead generator that you fucking close 72% on some bullshit deal. Like, that's not real business. That's a tool to get business, But of course, if you want to learn that tool, you've got to pay $20,000, and then you've got to go to 4 different seminars, which are $5,000 a piece.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's with everything, though. That's with love. It's with fucking. I mean, dude, literally. So what we have here is we have a society that has become so marketed to because of social media that the literal simplest things now seem complex. And it's confusing the fuck out of everybody. And when people are confused, you know what they do? They do nothing.
Right. And then they beat themselves up because they go to all these things, none of them work, and they go, the problem must be me.
And it's not.
Yeah.
And it's not. And so what we have is we see this in the fitness industry a lot. It's no secret we own a bunch of companies in the fitness industry. Look, you see this with fat loss products a lot, right? Like people say, oh, dude, take this pill and you're going to lose 100 pounds. Well, fucking everybody in the world knows you can't take a motherfucking pill and lose 100 pounds. You got to work hard. You got to eat right. You got to do certain things. If you're a motherfucker who thinks you can just take something, don't ever buy shit from me, ever. Because I'm just telling you, you're going to be disappointed. Supplements, nutrition, that shit's there to help. It's not there to do the fucking work. So, but my point is that the message is marketed so heavy towards overweight people. By the way, I used to be 350 fucking pounds, so I know from experience. I tried every fucking thing, and this is before I was in this. When I was fucking young, I was fat too. I tried every product. I know what this feels like. Like every time I'd order a product, and I'd be so fucking excited, and I would think, dude, this is gonna be the one.
It's the last time.
Dude, I'm taking this shit, and I am doing this. And dude, you know what happened every time? Nothing. You know why? Because I didn't do the work. I didn't have the discipline to eat the right foods. I didn't drink the water. I didn't do my workouts. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, but it's like that in literally everything. But the problem is exactly what you said. The problem is then you have the overweight person who blames themselves and says, fuck, you know what? It must be my big bones, or it must be my genetics, or it must be my body type. I should just accept it, even though they truly don't want to accept it. they're convinced to accept it because of another fucking initiative that someone's pushing to sell them some more shit about being unhealthy or whatever, okay? And then they say, well, fuck, dude, I'm just going to be fat because I'm fat, and even though it's not what they really want. You see what I mean?
Yeah, man.
And then they stand on a mountain and say, I'm so proud of myself. That's why I call bullshit on this fucking body positive shit. It's bullshit. Because I know for sure, if you're aware, you cannot be happy by fucking skating through life. And I've been 350 fucking pounds and fat as fuck. So I know. I'm not making this shit up. You know, they got these things now called thin privilege. It's fucking thin privilege. I swear to God. Go on fucking Instagram and look at the hashtag thin privilege and read the shit.
Well, I can't.
It's a
believe
fucking
that.
joke.
I can't fucking believe that.
Dude. There's people on these hashtags going, like, calling for like militant action to accept overweight people. First of all, dude, I don't fucking not accept overweight people. Dude, I'm fat myself. I'm a fat motherfucker by nature. Okay? I got to fucking work hard to be in decent shape. Where you guys see in the mirror, dude, I work out twice a fucking day. I don't eat any of the shit that I want to eat. None of it. Mm-hmm. There ain't a motherfucker on this planet that works harder than me to fucking stay in fucking questionably decent shape. I'm not even in that good of shape, and I work my fucking balls off to be like this. Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think that's the thing, right? Like entrepreneur space, mystery space.
Right, exactly.
The real space. I mean, the one thing that I tell people all the time is like, what makes us different is we speak fat. Like I can look into that person's soul. Like, dude, I understand what you're going through.
Dude, when I look in the mirror, it doesn't matter how. Dude, I got the worst body dysmorphia of anybody on the fucking planet. I could be shredded, fucking 260
Find every
pounds,
fucking wrong aspect.
and I look in the mirror and I'm like, fuck. Dude, I got people coming over today to my pool. I don't want to take my shirt off. Yeah. You know, fuck, dude.
My arms look little.
Yeah, that shit doesn't go away, man.
Right.
Like, it doesn't go away. If you don't got it, good for you.
No, that shit's real. I mean, the only thin privilege that I can ever recommend or know that's there is jeans, man. My fucking fat ass when I'm fat, fuck, I can't get jeans for nothing. They need to make like salad gets fat jeans.
I'm just saying, like everything in this world has become a marketing message.
Oh, yeah. Where there's mystery, there's margin.
That's right. Exactly. It's all everybody's little play to get a fucking nickel or a dime. If you look down the hole far enough, that's what you'll find.
But circle this back to like, you know, about being happy, right? The one thing that I'm most proud about as our company is like we've taken a stance against that message and we do it the right way. We market it the right way. Hey, there's no magic pill. There's only magic work. You gotta drink your water. You gotta eat your meals.
Dude, look, I couldn't sleep if we did it any other way.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
But that's the happiness equation, right?
Yes.
What you're talking about. Like, yeah, is it fucking easy? No, it's really fucking hard.
Yeah.
But that's where when you can help somebody change their life and you help tens of thousands of people change their life, the same fucking struggle that you fucking had.
Dude, man, that people know, like you inherently know when you're fucking heavy, you're overweight. You know this.
Oh, yeah.
You know that it's going to fucking take a lot of work.
It's going to suck. You get mad at yourself.
And I get it. Like, dude, you look at that mountain and you're standing at the fucking bottom of Mount Everest and you're looking at the top and you're like, there's no fucking way. I know what that feels like. But the truth is, it's just one fucking foot in front of the other. And in a year, you could be at the top of that fucking mountain. But dude, people don't tell people that. They tell people instead, you should be proud of your fatness. Like, the fuck are you? What should you be proud of? What'd you do to get that?
You didn't do no work there.
Yeah, you fucking stuffed your fucking face and sat on the couch and didn't do shit. And you know how I know? Because I did that.
A lot.
Dude.
50 times.
50? Fuck, dude. I'm going to tell you what. There ain't a motherfucker on this planet that was lazier than me or ate more than me. Dude, I ate fucking 15,000 calories every fucking day. Fuck yes, I was fat.
But I think that's the thing. What's cool about it, right? And this is, again, ironically goes back to the happiness equation,
dude,
if you will.
I'm not saying that you can't be happy with yourself, but I'm saying if you're not loyal to the disciplines that you like, if you're overweight, okay, and you know in your head, in your heart, that you actually want to be less weight,
right? You want to change.
Mm-hmm. No matter how much good shit you tell yourself in the brain, you're going to be unhappy. No matter how many movements you fucking go to, no matter how many times you make a passionate post about being it doesn't matter. If you look in the mirror and you truly think in your heart, I need to look different, you're not going to feel better until you at least work and go through the process of doing the things that you know you should do for you. That's what I'm saying. If you look in the mirror and you see yourself and you say, fuck, dude, you know what? I'm proud of who I am. I do this, I do that, I do this, I do this. And maybe your body isn't the priority for you. It should be, because it's your health. It's not just the way you look. But maybe that's not and you're still exercising discipline in this area and this other area and this area, and that's what you value, you'll be happy. So I'm not by any means saying it's impossible to be happy if you're overweight, but what I am saying is I've been overweight and I've tried to tell myself all this bullshit, and it's fucking bullshit.
It's empty. Well, dude, and the thing is, sorry, Vaughn, you don't know, this fat equation gets fat people fired up.
Yeah, no, I get it.
But the thing is like what's cool about that change is, like the physical change is really nice because you're seeking the physical change. But the mental transformation that happens because you've put in the work and exercise and discipline, you got the confidence that now that's where this happiness comes in. The physical thing's kind of like a secondary win.
Yeah, but dude, here's the problem with that. The problem is people don't fucking understand that they're actually the happiest when they're doing the fucking work.
That's it.
Because they're proud of themselves.
That's right.
And they say, dude, you know what? I'm really proud I did that. And so what they do then, right? They get the physical result, and then they're like, fuck, I made it. And they don't connect the dot that what really made you happy was doing the work.
Yeah, the effort.
And so and so maybe there's a hint of laziness in them, or a hint of like, my old life. This is why the 21-day thing as a habit is bullshit. It's not long enough. But the thing is they might think to themselves, well, I still want to go to Billy G's and drink beer on Sundays and this and that. So they start doing the old things that they did before. They fucking gained the weight back, and they're unhappy. And they didn't ever connect that the reason they were happy with the weight loss wasn't because of the way they looked. It was because they were proud of themselves.
That's right.
And so, dude, guess what happens when you get to a point where you're proud of yourself? You got to keep fucking working.
Yeah.
You got to keep pushing.
You got to up the ante.
Yes. And that's the truth. And people argue with me every time I fucking say this, because there's people who are listening right now and they're like, Andy, there's such a thing as people who are not goal-driven, that are happy in everyday life, and they're also overweight, and they're also, yes, I agree, and they're also called less aware. Mm-hmm. That's what it's called. So I'm talking about people who are fucking success-driven, who have a basic concept of achievement and understand this and desire to change. If you don't desire to change, there's a very good chance that you're probably pretty fucking happy. But I'm going to tell you this, knowing what I know and where I'm at on the awareness scale of what I feel I'm at, it would be hard for me to know that I'm leaving X amount on the table and then look in the mirror and say, dude, I'm fucking proud of you. It's just not who I am.
Well, because then it works inversely. Then you're lying to yourself.
That's exactly. And then I feel worse.
Now you start steamrolling the wrong way.
Yeah.
So
and
guys,
no matter how much you smile and post positive shit, dude, it'll eat your fucking soul up.
It compounds faster on the way down than it does on the way up.
But the bottom line is it's all driven by money.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
All of these fucking simple things that are so simple to understand are not understood because people are not hearing those things because they're not highly marketable.
Vaughn, that could be the title of your podcast. Like one of the things, where there's mystery, there's margin. Come figure it out.
There you go. Honest question about all this, guys, because, and let me finish my thought on this because I got to tease it out a little bit. But would somebody explain to me why certain kinds of people are given a pass for claiming some sort of injustice or some sort of victimization? Like, couldn't we all, on some level, create something in our heads?
That's why it's ridiculous.
Right. So here's a good excuse. We all know, because you're in the fitness industry, right? We all know people who are very, very physically attractive. And they are really, really good people. In their hearts, they have great character. They're good people. But I've had some of those people tell me, you know what's really kind of funny? It's like, well, particularly in the dating scene, sometimes some of the women have a hard time with guys seeing them for who they are and looking past their good look, their beauty. So couldn't they say, well, I'm being prejudiced against because I'm beautiful.
Dude,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, couldn't they say, oh, you have ugly privilege?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Not only that, dude, the fucking thin privileged motherfuckers are now attacking fit people. It's fit shaming.
Right.
Like you should be ashamed of yourself because you take care of yourself. And you know what you shouldn't do? Because you worked hard for the way you look, you shouldn't show it to me because I don't want to see it.
So I
it's
just don't
the weakest
get it.
fucking shit I've ever heard in my life.
I think the reason that nobody
you know what,
stands
Vaughn?
up...
everybody should suck so I feel better about myself.
Yeah,
I mean, fuck out of here.
I'm not fat. I'm a hard gainer, so maybe I should feel prejudiced against by people who have what's that called endomorphs.
Yes.
Endomorphs. You have endo privilege, and I'm so offended by your endo privilege.
I think the reason the problem really, truly, genuinely never gets fixed is because everybody who's fucking actually doing something in life hears that shit and they just keep moving. Yeah, I just keep moving. It's like, that's a real thing? Oh, hey, what? All right, let's move to the next decision.
Dude,
that's right.
This is exactly, though, why this show exists, right? Because everybody who actually is a good and decent human being who's doing something with their life, we tend to just roll our eyes and go about our lives. But we really can't, right? We got it. We got to start speaking up about this craziness.
Well, fuck, man. I mean, look, dude,
then you get yelled at for that.
Yeah.
And I don't have time to get yelled at for that.
That's really what it is. What it is that the people who are actually contributing, they don't have time to pay attention to shit like this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, this is kind of like a guilty pleasure for us, because we're actually taking a break from the real shit that we've been doing all day.
Just talking about shit.
Right.
Yeah, and we're going to go back right after we get off the show, and we aren't going to talk about this shit, and we're going to talk about doing shit.
But here's one of these things. Like, I would not let this interfere with my morning routine, my kid routine, or my family time.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, this worked.
And then the other problem is, too, we've got to a point now where it's like, dude, if you don't go out of your way to accept my thing, whatever my thing is, then we're going to fucking attack you.
Yeah.
Oh, so I've got to accept every fucking thing now? Like, I've got to be okay with everything in the world?
Right.
Because you fucking don't feel comfortable? Like, dude, I'm going to have to sell all my cars and sell my house and live in a fucking trailer because there's going to be fucking rich shaming or some shit.
Well,
like,
if you do that, can I buy your house?
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, I'll take that. It's okay.
Like, people are just fucking ridiculous. How about instead of complaining like a little fucking bitch, you actually get your shit together and make something of yourself?
Well, and I think that goes into Vaughn's point.
You know what?
Point.
If you really think something's a problem,
Stand
why don't
up.
you? Hey, you know what? Why, instead of like just shaming people, if you really think something's a problem, why don't you fucking actually figure out real solutions to fix it instead of just throwing a fucking temper tantrum about every little thing? The problem is most of these motherfuckers don't give a shit about the real problem. They're just jumping on because it's popular.
And it makes them feel good.
That's right.
But
like they're part of something.
Yeah, to Andrew's point, like I tell my guys, especially the ones closest to me, anybody can find the problems.
Right.
But can you figure out the solution?
That's right.
So don't just bring me fucking problems. Bring me the problem and how you think you should fix it.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I mean, this has gotten to the point where people are forcing companies to use certain actors to send a certain message about a certain cause that really has nothing to do with the fucking company. Like, what the fuck?
Right.
You know, there was a time back in the day where when you didn't like what a company did, you know what you did? You just didn't buy their shit.
Buy it.
You just didn't buy their shit. And if companies did enough fucked up shit, they fell apart on their own.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what?
Imagine that.
What the fuck, dude?
No kidding. Well, you guys have both mentioned, I've obviously talked about a lot of the mysteries, a lot of complexities in life. One of the things that I did want to bring up to you, because this is especially in light of Christmas, is like two or 3 days prior to Christmas. You ready for this? There was a UFO sighting in Las Vegas. Are you aware of that?
It's called drugs.
No, really. Channel 8 News in Las Vegas said that there was a UFO.
Hey, when was this?
Just a couple days before Christmas.
No shit.
Yeah.
I saw something in the sky too.
See, drugs. You see, 1 + 1, 2.
I'm trying to think, dude. Was it?
So I mean, this is what the Channel 8 News, I don't know if it's ABC or NBC or whatever, but it's the affiliate over in Las Vegas.
By the way, I don't do fucking drugs.
Yeah,
just so you guys know. Like, everybody thinks that, like,
We're fucking around.
everybody thinks that wealthy people fucking like snort coke off of like other dudes' boners and shit. Like, that ain't
That's
what
just
I
Tyler.
do.
I never really thought
I
that,
occasionally
but-
smoke some fucking weed. I would say that, but like, I do not.
Did you not watch Wolf of Wall Street?
Huh?
Why's it got to be a guy's boner? It could be, a chick's ass.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That's the opening scene of the movie, isn't it?
I do. I've done neither one of those. I've never snorted anything.
Fuck no.
Yeah, I
Dude.
have. For sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what?
No way.
Oh,
100%.
I snorted Vicks. Like, I use that Vicks shit
Yeah.
for my nose.
Yeah, but that's different.
That shit
We
really
had a
works.
circle of friends in high school that snorted pixie sticks. For
Oh,
fun.
fucking A,
Yeah,
Vaughn.
totally
Vaughn,
true.
Jesus, Vaughn.
you're fucking fired, bro.
Fun
It's
fact,
true,
no one tell.
though.
I've never smoked weed. Have you smoked weed?
I have not. No.
No, that doesn't surprise me.
I haven't smoked weed.
But you know what's
Today,
interesting is that
since an hour ago.
I don't know if this counts in certain parts of Kansas and along the prairie.
Dude, weed's better than alcohol. I don't give a fuck what
marijuana
anybody
does
says.
grow. It does grow wild in Kansas, and sometimes
Vaughn,
they
that's
burn
not.
it.
God, you're so naive.
Yeah.
it's not wild. That's like the country boys fucking stash, dog. That's why they go up in helicopters and find that shit.
My point is when they
You
when they
are
burn
the
it,
guy who believes the news.
I know.
Like, honey, did you see on the news today? There was a UFO.
So let's get back. What else have you snorted? Besides
just
pixie
that,
sticks.
just that. Yeah.
You snorted something before. Do you remember when you snorted
Yeah,
that
the
fucking Cubert ball?
Fuck, dude, yeah.
There used to be this character called Cubert when we were kids that shot fucking shit out of his nose. This
You mean the video game?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, but we had like the
Cubert.
board game.
Yeah.
So fucking we had this. This is why you don't give a kid diamond ring. This is a perfect reason. So this motherfucker over
I'd be
here,
a lot richer.
this motherfucker sitting next to you,
Yeah.
okay, who thinks like he's real fucking smart. This dude decides to stick a fucking marble up his nose to be Cubert. Only he just didn't stick it up his nose. He stuck it into his brain and had to go to a fucking emergency room
Seriously?
to get it taken out.
I highly recommend it. And look what happened to me.
Yeah.
The smartest motherfucker you
No,
know.
they pulled out some of your brain with that shit, dude.
Well, that's the part that everybody needs to get removed.
No, but you know that like in the old ships, you had the captain's wheel and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, my parents, with the basement of my house.
You mean
growing
like
up-
how every boat has?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever. I don't know a lot about boats either.
What do you think? They have a joystick?
I'm on a boat.
What kind of boats have you been on, bro? They all got fucking steering wheels.
So those steering wheels. Anyway, so growing up, our house was like,
You had a steering
I'm not
wheel?
sure why it was nautical themed, but it was nautical themed.
That's a cool
But we
thing to
had
do.
one of those steering wheels, and we'd lay it down, and we'd like line the pixie stick dust on the boat. We called it the wheel of death, or the what is it called? That roulette. The
So
Russian
this is
roulette.
what happened to you.
And then we would
Dude.
and then we
This
snort.
actually
and
makes
then
a
we-
lot of
and then we
sense, dude.
snort
Not only does
pixie
it make a
sticks.
lot of sense, like, you lived on the wild side, man.
That was the
you want to
that
fucking
was the
circle of
wildest
death
thing.
some pixie sticks, bro?
I double dog dare you. At least have some chew and go on a Ferris
I know,
wheel or
but you
something.
know what else we would do is we had a 70. My friend had a 79. His
Dude,
dad,
what was the worst thing you ever did as a kid?
Went 61 miles
the
an hour.
most dangerous thing. The most dangerous thing I ever did as a kid was my buddy his dad had a 79 Chevy truck, and we would go really really fast down Main Street, and I would surf in the bed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but like that's kind of what we did as kids growing up.
As
every
kids,
day.
I mean, the big,
Okay, so I got some cred for street cred for that.
no, but we did that like every day.
Oh well,
Like our dad
I did
used
a
to let
lot.
us
We
ride
did-
in the bed of
yeah.
the truck.
That's
Yeah.
dude. That was the coolest shit ever.
I mean, you got to think now, like, dude, you got to put your kids in. I mean, I got fucking 10 car seats. Let's
Dude,
see,
yeah.
1, 2, 3,
Dude,
4,
could you
5, 6,
imagine,
7,
like, for
8.
real?
I got 8 car seats.
Dude, I remember riding in the back of cousin Jim's fucking utility truck
Yeah.
from soccer practice to the house 100 times.
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
the
You get
Uncle
thrown in
Paul's,
jail for that.
Uncle Paul's Bronco,
Driving
or,
it down to the farm.
to the
Dude, I
farm.
remember riding in the back of the truck for fucking an hour to the farm. In the back.
My friend Jimmy.
Like, dude, if you see someone in the back today, you're calling the cops.
Dude, you're like, man, you better be careful. Even me.
Yeah.
Dude, this is fucked up, okay? Our Uncle Larry used to tow us behind his fucking conversion van in a canoe through the fucking field like we were sledding.
Yeah, I think
at fucking 40 miles an hour.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's a true
We were
story.
like,
yeah.
8.
Yeah.
Dude, if I did that to my kids, my wife would cut my balls
You
off.
would be on the fucking news, bro.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, because man's balls gone, wife killed him.
Yeah.
Man,
It would be the back-to-back
headlines-
news
the
story.
headlines could be amazing.
That totally
It would be
reminds me.
back-to-back John Wayne Bobbitt / other news. Man who got balls removed was pulling kids through
Goes
field.
to jail for
Yeah.
life.
No shit.
Yeah.
Dude, about the same time that I was surfing on the back of Chevys, there was
snorting
you
pixie
mentioned
sticks
you
off a
mentioned the
wheel?
balls and your wife. There was a
Why are you mentioning balls and my
there,
wife, dude?
There was an oncologist in Hutch growing up who was cheating on his wife, and when he woke up, his wife had super glued his member to the side of his thigh.
That's pretty fucking dirty. Dude, that would suck.
That would suck. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, just for anybody
Oh,
that
dude.
happens to down the line. So when I was at J&J, we sold this stuff called Dermabond, and it was essentially like super glue, but
Yeah.
you get your
Oh my
skin glued
god,
shut.
I'd never thought that thought before.
Well,
Yeah.
listen, I'm giving a great tip for the men who maybe have some wife who comes home and super glues their nuts to their leg. I think Vaseline would break down super glue. So if there happens to you, just go get some, old school Vaseline and set it in
Super
there.
glue
If
is
that ever
pretty
happens
crazy.
to you, bro, you should get a divorce.
Listen, I think Vaughn is expressing some feelings here that maybe happened to him in the late 70s.
Holy
I'm not that
shit.
old.
Could you imagine waking up with your fucking dick glued to your leg?
I guess
Think
that's-
about trying to
I guess
walk,
you'd
how bad
definitely-
that would hurt.
I guess you'd piss down your leg.
Oh, my
Well, think
God.
about how bad it would hurt if, you got excited.
I don't think you get excited knowing that's happening. I think you're in a really bad spot.
I think you're probably
I
right.
mean-
but honestly, back to the UFO. Like, I want to know if you really, truly believe it was a UFO. Or was it just,
Are you asking me if I believe in UFOs?
yeah, okay. We'll go there.
Dude, of course.
Okay.
How could you not?
Do they look like us?
Dude, I don't know. Look, man, there's fucking drawings of beings
Right.
inside caves that are thousands of years old that are pretty consistent with all the accounts of what these people look like, or whatever you call them, aliens.
And across different continents
Yes,
that have
right.
no
Like that
communication
didn't
with each
communicate. There's
I'm ready to curveball you here.
Huh?
I mean, they've done this with also Jesus. So I mean, the stories get told over and over again. That's what he looks like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look, man, I don't think you can really. I don't know, man. I think the odds. I'm an odds guy. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I just think in those terms. I think the odds are.
Occam's razor.
I think the odds are pretty good that we are not the only planet in literal infinite space that has life on it.
So-
I would say I think that's very likely.
Yeah. So I'm guessing on this. I don't know if this is true, but I'm guessing that the vast majority of movies that have been made about aliens coming to Earth are that the aliens want to smack us around. Do you think if they do come to Earth, are they going to be peaceable, or are they going to just want to attack us?
Listen, if they wanted to fucking attack us, we wouldn't even fucking know. Like, they would.
We're totally assuming maybe we're
How
the
do you
aliens.
How do you know they're not already attacking us?
Well, and how do you know we're not?
Once again, you
How do you know that we're not the aliens? And those people are afraid of us.
dude,
I'll tell you right now, somebody brought this question. We were real fucked up one time, and this would be funny for this topic. They're like, dude, did you ever think that we could actually be like living underneath somebody's fingernail
Fuck
in
yeah.
another world, and we're just a speck of fucking thing, and your whole
Yeah,
life doesn't
I-
even
it's the
matter?
end of Men in
yeah,
Black.
I brought that up to you, dude.
Well, we
I
were
think that
fucked
all the
up.
time.
fucking pixie
Was that
sticks.
during one of the said marijuana sessions?
I don't probably, but dude, that's the thing. Is
I admittedly said I'm fucked up. I guarantee you that.
yeah, but dude, the thing is that you don't. The problem is this really kind of goes into the problem with people in general. Is that like we don't know.
Yeah.
Right. And if you really go down any hole of anything, that we don't know, like of really anything. Okay, like, do we know we have a fingerprint? Yes, we know that. Do we know that each person's fingerprint is unique? We're pretty confident of that. But there's a lot of shit that really is unexplainable and we don't fucking know. And so we plant our flags and our identity into these answers that we're assuming because there's evidence that we believe is relevant that shows that we believe that, and so people say this is what it is as a definitive thing. And really the truth is that we don't know. And that's what makes life cool, because we don't fucking know.
One of the things that I'm curious about, because we got so much misinformation on the internet and we don't know who to trust half the time. Do you guys think that there's like 3 or 4 things that you could say, listen, I'm just going to shut down. I'm not going to listen to the internet. I'm just going to live my life locally. What would you say are like the 5 or 6? I don't know. I even know how I came up with that number. But what are the things that you can know to operate your life that don't depend on getting information? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know what you're saying.
okay, what I'm saying is that a lot of times when people want big answers to life, they hop on the internet, they read a book, they whatever.
WebMD.
What's that?
WebMD. I
Yeah,
got cancer.
right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but you're going to learn a hell of a lot more from experiencing real life than you are from reading someone else's account of it. Always.
Yeah,
How do you learn fire's
No,
hot?
I totally get it. So my thing is like, whenever we're dealing with like stuff that's going on in our country,
Right.
And I'm not turning it political. I'm just saying like whether it's Trump or whether it's I don't know UFO or whatever. At the end of the day, when you say we don't know, I mean the truth is, I'll be honest, I don't with this whole impeachment thing. I don't know if he's guilty or not. I don't even know if we can know because we're not like in that situation. So my thing is, what does the average person do? How can the average person live in a way that, we're not dependent on getting our information?
I think you just have to recognize that there's always possibilities that the information that you're presented is not true. Mm-hmm. And I think if you recognize that as in general, and you can differentiate between the things that are probably true and the things that, it could be 50-50. There's a lot of shit that could be 50-50 that people say is true.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like a lot. So you have to differentiate between that. Like, do you believe in gravity? I would say the chances of gravity being real are pretty fucking good. Yeah. And we've seen lots of evidence of that.
Well, that's what I mean. That's exactly what I mean.
Don't know about, because there's not even a theory for gravity. Like, they don't have one. There's not an equation.
Yeah,
there's
is
a theory, but there's not an equation for gravity. Like, they just don't.
You don't have to have it though. Why do you need that? If you go jump on a fucking roof and you point your head to the ground, you're going to break your fucking face.
Yeah, but some people could also claim that that's density.
It doesn't matter because
it
doesn't matter because it's reality.
I'm not saying that, but I am saying that they do not have an actual equation for
Well,
gravity.
I don't know about you,
So
bro, but I don't need
else.
to fucking know the math behind when I touch that stove. It fucking burns my hand.
Right.
I don't fucking do it twice. I think that's.
I mean, we could go
And that's
test it.
that's what I mean. Like, on a day-to-day basis, are there a handful of principles that you're like, I don't need to hop on the internet. I don't need to consult an expert.
Yeah, dude.
I actually
think the fucking 10 Commandments is a pretty good start.
So just like
that's
basic moral codes.
I think that's a pretty generally accepted moral code. I think when you look at that, I mean, whether you're Christian or Muslim or whatever you are, it doesn't matter. The moral codes in each culture are pretty similar. They might not be the exact same.
Yeah.
I
think there's like 90% overlap.
Okay. Well, okay. I don't know. I'm kind of talking out of my ass a little bit because I don't know the stats. Yeah. But I know that there's not many religions that are like, yeah, let's go fucking kill everybody. Right. So most of them are pretty much the same rules of conduct. Like, it doesn't really matter what country you go to. You fuck with some dude's girl, he's probably gonna be pissed off about it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's all kinds of like I don't know a country in the world where you kill somebody and you just get to fucking kill them. Right. Like, there's generally accepted moral code across culture, I think. Yeah. And so I think that we just have to understand that being a good human is being a good human in general sense. So if you want to look where to start on how to be happy, that's a good place to start. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean you have to fucking be religious. It doesn't mean you have to say, oh, I'm going to go to church every single day and I'm going to do the chants. Dude, I don't do any of that stuff, but I try to live by a good code. I try to actually be a vessel of what I believe to be right and wrong and consistently in my actions on a daily basis. And I think that's the connection that we truly miss, is that we have a lot of people who know what to do. We just don't have a lot of people fucking doing it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Dude, I watched the movie Two Popes last night. Have you guys seen the preview?
Dude, I was watching that last night too.
What is it?
Dude,
were you watching it through my window? This motherfucker's staying with me right now. So he's sleeping in my guest house, and from where he is the guest house, he could see right into where my TV was.
Guest house, my ass. That's bigger than most people's houses.
Yeah, I mean, it ain't. It's not too shaky.
No, awesome.
Yeah,
but dude, it's just funny.
I actually didn't hear what you said. What was the title?
The Two Popes.
Two Popes.
It's pretty good.
Two Popes. Yeah.
Dude, it's pretty good. It's a good movie. Yeah.
But what's great is here's.
I thought it was funny too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. But here's the Pope, the pinnacle of all of Christianity, and he's having struggles with his relationship with God. And it's just, I think that's just like a.
Yeah, but that's real,
dude.
That's absolutely real.
The movie was so real. Do you see it?
I haven't. No.
Oh, dude, you got to watch it. It's really good.
Did you know that I could be the Pope?
No, but I was going to say, I think everybody struggles with being themselves in some relationship, some sort
of
time.
Yeah,
and
I thought that message that I just got to stop you, dude, because we're talking about this. That message, that scene where they were sitting on the bench and he gave confession to the other guy when he was the Pope. That was a fucking powerful message, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm definitely going to have to watch it. Yeah. One of the coolest things I ever heard was the Pope himself has a preacher that's his job is specifically to preach to the Pope, which I think is really cool.
It's in the movie, what you're about to say.
Oh, yeah. I just think it's cool.
Say it.
No, I don't know. All I'm saying is...
What was the rest of your story before I rudely interrupted you?
No,
he has a guy that walks around and says, you are a man, you are not God. You are a man, you're not God.
Yeah. I don't know enough about it. All I know is that, everybody needs, I laugh because everybody thinks that, at home you're giving like motivational talks to Emily, right?
Yeah.
Well, what I think is funny is that everybody thinks that the head of an organization doesn't need encouragement and doesn't need somebody who kind of can get in their face at times. And that's what
It's
I
actually
think is
the
so
opposite.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
actually the opposite. Do you know what most people think of the head of an organization? I'm going to tell you because I'm the head of a fucking organization, a big one.
Knows everything and never has
That's
trouble.
right. They
Yeah.
think you have every fucking answer. They think that you have no emotions and you don't care about nothing. They think you don't have any feelings. And they think it's their job to fucking pound you down because you're cocky.
Right.
Like, motherfucker, it ain't your job to check me. I
Right.
check myself. That's why I'm fucking where I'm at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
worst kind of person you can be, and just take this note, the worst kind of person you can be is someone who tries to bring people down because you think that they're getting a little bit too fucking this or that when you know it's just your insecurity.
Right.
There's lots of people that do that shit. I hear this shit all the time. Nobody else will really tell you, so I'm going to tell you. Motherfucker, I hear that from everybody. So everybody's telling me. So shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't get it. It's like people just think it's their responsibility to pull the fucking, the crab that's getting to the top. No, let the motherfucker go. Mm-hmm. Be happy for him. Be excited for him. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, that's good vibes out on the internet. It brings you more wins. Mm-hmm. It's the truth.
Yeah.
If the internet went away, what would you miss the most?
That's a great question.
Ooh.
That's kind of where I thought you were going before. And I was thinking, like, in my head, I'm like, wow.
What would I miss?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I think I know what you would miss. And I think I would probably miss the same thing.
I would miss looking at cars.
That's it, dude.
Yeah.
And it's funny because he's a true car addict. I'm a true car surfer. Mm-hmm. Like, I can tell you every car that's for sale that's cool.
Yeah, I do. I can too.
On the fucking
It's part of my
internet.
nightly routine.
Every night.
Yeah.
Raquel will work and I'll knock down my I scan my emails. My wife works every night. Like, we share the workaholic bond. But and she has more emails than I have. I scan my emails and I instantly go to cars and then I start texting Andrew. Like,
Yeah,
that's like our
or I'll text him first.
yeah.
Like,
Dude,
we'll
look
go
at
back
this.
and forth.
Dude, look at this. But I
Because
mean,
we both kind of know what each other's looking at,
Right.
Like at the time, because we're always looking at like the next car. So like right now, I know he's hot on SLS Black Series, so I'm sending him the Black Series, and he's sending me,
Yeah.
So, but dude, I think the cars for me would be the thing I would miss. The rest of it, I could fucking
the
leave.
allure of the internet's kind of down for me. Like
Yeah.
the shopping thing, I would miss the convenience, but I wouldn't mind fucking buying. I mean, I would hate to go
Yeah.
buy toilet paper and shit like that. That's annoying.
I could do without social media completely.
Yeah, it's a catch-22 because I love the people that I've met, right? In that sense.
I'm not saying
I
I wouldn't miss. You know what I love, dude? I love the cultures that we've been able to create,
Right.
and the different projects that we have, like with S2 Faction, with First Form, the culture with
Yeah, we need
Arte.
to bring that to a different thing offline.
Yeah, right. Like, I miss those things because, it's cool to see other motherfuckers win, dude. And that's what all of our cultures are built around. So I would miss a lot.
Yeah.
But outside of the typical, I think people are becoming a little disenfranchised with social in general.
I think even the internet. in
No, I
general,
think so
you
too.
know what I mean?
Yeah. I
Sorry.
think people are craving some
Human.
real life.
Yeah.
You know?
I
We
think
got to
you're
stop
right.
right now because I got to piss real bad.
Dude, I got to pee too like a motherfucker.
Dude, I had to go, man. I was starting to feel very uncomfortable. Like,
Are we
I
back
was-
live?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too,
yeah,
dude. I was
I'm just
literally going
saying.
to wave the flag like, hey, man, we ending because I got to pee.
Yeah. Well, dude, water's important.
Yeah.
So, guys, before we get into the last segment of the show, I would appreciate if you like the show, if you got a laugh, if you learned some things that made you think, if you share the show with a friend. We don't market this show. We're not advertising it. It's strictly off word of mouth. So, and it's value driven. If we brought you value, we'd ask that you bring us a little bit back by talking about us, sharing it, giving us a review, and just doing what you can on an episode by episode basis. It's just how we do shit around here. So, how are we closing this thing up?
Well, I just don't want to make any assumptions. So, guys, if you're not following either Sal or Andy, Sal is at Mr. Frisella. Do I really have to spell people's names by now? But, at Mr. Frisella.
Dude, if people are
If it's good enough, you'll find
If
you.
motherfuckers aren't
Yeah.
smart enough to go to the internet and figure it out, then I don't think we need to say that shit no more.
No.
So
All right.
let's
well,
just
follow
skip
Andy
that.
on Instagram. If
Yeah.
you can't find him, then I don't know what to tell you. But
Get out of your
There you
hole.
go.
But guys, I mean, we covered a lot of topics, but so indulge me a little bit. I got basically just kind of curious if you have any, final wrap-up thoughts, parting shots, helpful fortune cookies of truth. Doesn't necessarily have to be anything specifically related to what we're talking about. Maybe a final little proverb to live your life by. Anything, Sal?
No, I just think, if the message of the show that you learn something from is how to find happiness or where there's happiness, it's earned over time from yourself, and understanding you have to put in the work in order to be happy with what looks back in you in the mirror. And it's not easy. It's not quick. It's a learned attribute over time that you have to earn from yourself. You can't earn it with anybody else. You got to earn it with yourself. Mm-hmm. You got to give it time. You got to attack that process.
Damn, dude, I know someone who made a program all about this. Where's that program? What's it called?
It's called Your Best Life Now. No, I don't know. I think that's called 75 Hard.
It is called 75 Hard. Yeah. You can go to 75hard.com if you're interested in learning about this program. But I'm not going to plug it any more than that because it don't need to be plugged. That's true. I would say my final thought would be, dude, what the fuck? Like, I feel like this every day I open the internet and every day I read the headlines. Like, I feel like we're in this literal, almost like punked episode, and Ashton Kutcher's going to jump out of the bushes and be like, "We fucking got you, motherfucker!" Like,
I knew that wasn't real.
Yeah, like, dude, it's almost to the point in society where I'm just like laughing at shit. You know what I mean? I'm not taking it too serious. People are angry, man.
I knew people weren't really that stupid.
Yeah, dude, that's what I feel like. But like, the truth of the matter is, it's totally possible to be completely happy without buying into all this shit that everybody's feeding you. You know what I mean? The answers do come from within, and they do come through your experiences, and they do come from self-reflection. And just because someone else is telling you, just go be happy or this, because, dude, I used to get pissed about that, right? Like, I'd hear people say, "Oh, dude, you just need to be happier." And I'm like, well, fuck, dude, it ain't like I'm not trying. Like, I'm trying. I don't know, and so eventually, like, what happened is, after hearing that for ever and ever and ever, I got to the point where I was like, well, fuck, I guess I'm just not a happy person. And that was very bad, because then I'm starting to think like, oh, well, I'm a fucking crab. Well, it's not that I'm a crab ass. I can be a crab ass, but what it was is I didn't know how to create happiness. And that was the point. So when I talk about creating your happiness on a daily basis versus it being a destination, understand that there is different perspectives. And just because that's how I do it doesn't mean that's how it is. But I can tell you this, there's thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people that agree with me. And if you're interested in learning how they do it, you go check out the program 75 Hard and it'll tell you how. But that's my little piece.
Well, other than telling you not to snort pixie sticks or cut down massive tree limbs yourself, I got nothing to add to that, and certainly can't improve on it. But it's been a good talk, guys.
Had fun.
Yeah, I'm having fun with the new show. What do you think?
Oh, I think it's really good. I think it's.
Of course you do.
Well, of course. I mean, I'm in with the.
Yeah, it's fun though.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's the show. We'll see you next time. Appreciate you. Spread the word.
Told my teacher, dumb bitch, I'm gonna get me